Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. For those of you that don't know, TYLER1 has recently been on the top lane grind in kind of this little venture he has going on of trying to reach Challenger in every single role. He has already been a Challenger AD carry, he's been a Challenger jungler, now he's trying to show everyone just how easy top lane is. He plays a ton of very aggressive picks. He is maining mostly Mordekaiser and OLAF. In this video today, we're going to be breaking down how he is able to carry games in the top lane as OLAF at like a Diamond 2 to Diamond 3 level he's currently at. Obviously, I know he's going to put in the hours until he's able to actually reach all the way up to Challenger. But again, in this one, we're just going to be breaking down this game. Before we get into it, I just want to mention we actually do have a $25 RP Christmas giveaway going on. That's going to be the first link in the description below for anybody interested in that. Again, you have until Christmas Day to get entered, so there's still plenty of time, but if that sounds awesome to you, definitely check that out. Just my little way of giving back to you guys because the channel's been doing so awesome lately. With that being said, here we go, getting right into this one. First up, we're going to take a look at the runes and everything that TYLER1 is using on his OLAF. Again, it's a really popular pick for Tyler. He's been playing it all the time, absolutely spamming it in the top lane. He's going with Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Alacrity, Last Stand, Inspiration Secondary with Boots, and Approach Velocity. He's going to be maxing Q, maxing W, maxing E, and then putting points in Q, E, and starting out with a point in Q, then W, then E, then maxing Q, maxing E, maxing W, and obviously putting a point in alt when he can. In this game, he is up against Mordekaiser, which is a very favorable matchup for the OLAF. So Tyler should hopefully be able to gain a pretty sizable early lead, and then just split push this game to death. Mordekaiser should not be any match for him in the side lanes or anything. Also, Mordekaiser, if he ults you, you can just OLAF ult out of it. If you have your OLAF ult going first and he ults you, he actually takes you to the Shadow Realm. But if you wait until he ults you, then Shadow Realm, you're actually able to win. And then obviously Mordekaiser is looking to go for a lot of like extended trade 1v1s, and OLAF loves that. So this is actually a very good matchup for OLAF. Also, TYLER1 plays a ton of Mordekaiser, so he should know the ins and outs of this matchup really well. But he's definitely going to be looking to play aggressive early. Needs to keep an eye on Lilia. Obviously, she did start on the top side, so hopefully TYLER1 knows where she's at. But he's definitely going to need to play aggressive, so hopefully he doesn't get ganked or anything early. As you can see, even though Mordekaiser starts off winning the trade, OLAF gets the attack speed, OLAF gets the healing, and he's just able to run it over. And then he flashes on top of the Mordekaiser. Actually gets the Mordekaiser flash as well and dies. But like we said, Lilia was topside. She ended up covering, and she was able to flash onto him for the kill. But that is a very good start for TYLER1. He does have TP still, so he should be fine. On that first recall, he actually goes back, picks up a Ruby Crystal and a Longsword. So he's going to be going for the Trinity Force. Or maybe he's going to go for the Black Cleaver, I don't know. But he's going to go for the Phage first. I think he usually goes Black Cleaver, actually. But yeah, super alpha top laner. Obviously, he's looking to go very aggressive early. He knew that he wins those trades, even though he got low. I know a lot of times on stream, he'll say that he got low on purpose, so he'd get the extra attack speed and everything. Lilia decides to come back, but that's not a great idea. This time, thankfully, Nocturne is actually shadowing, and TYLER1 is able to pick up another easy kill. Lilia gets away just barely, but that's okay. TYLER1 is now 2-1, just 3 minutes into the game, and obviously this is best case scenario for OLAF. He just likes to play super aggressive, always looking for those huge plays. And that's going to lead to a very volatile playstyle. Obviously, TYLER1 will go like 0-10 some games, and he'll just absolutely kind of lose the game in the first couple of minutes. But if you play aggressive, if you know your matchups, if you trust in yourself, especially on a champion like OLAF where you can 2v1 even if you get ganked or something, you're going to be able to snowball a lot of games. It's going to be demoralizing for the other team. I'm sure Mordekaiser is already pretty tilted, especially with because Lilia has been top twice, and he's still, I think, 0-2. Yeah, Lilia got the first kill. So he's very far behind, even though he's had a lot of jungle help. Lilia is going to have to go bot at some point, and then TYLER1's going to have free reign up here, and Mordekaiser is going to be really screwed. Again, 4 minutes in, he's already got the Phage. He's 2-1. He picks up another Longsword. He does have a bounty now, so he has to be a little bit careful to not give that away, but obviously he is in a very good spot. But yeah, so taking a look just at the state of the game right now, the only things that have happened are really in the top lane. TYLER1 is up 10 CS, and yeah, he's in a very good spot. Mordekaiser's down a level. He's 0-2. He's pretty screwed, but Dragon's going to be spawning here soon. We'll have to see what TYLER1's team can do. Neither top laner has top lane, or has teleport in the top lane, so they're just going to be on kind of an island for a while, which is going to be great news for TYLER1. That's exactly what he's looking for. So it's really nice that he's built up this early lead. The wave is pushing towards him, again, which is another thing he wants because OLAF really likes his extended lane in the top lane, especially against somebody with no mobility like Mordekaiser. If Mordekaiser has to push up, like into this area of the lane, he's going to be really screwed. If Olaf lands one axe, he's just going to be able to run down Mordekaiser, and at this point he has plenty of damage. Mordekaiser did pick up 2 cloth armors, but I don't think that should make too much of a difference. Mordekaiser's trying to get a little back off here, but that's not going to matter. TYLER1's going to be able to do whatever he wants with the wave here. He does have the option to kind of set up a freeze here, because he can tank the wave, pull it into the bush and everything. Or he can just hard push it back into the Mordekaiser. But I think it makes more sense to set up the freeze here, especially since Mordekaiser doesn't have the TP. He's going to be in a really, really bad spot. He's going to miss a ton of minions. Mordekaiser did recall for the Bramble Vest. That is obviously really good against Olaf. You're able to cut the healing and pick up a bunch of armor. But I'm still pretty sure TYLER1 should be able to win the straight up all in. So I don't think he's too concerned about the Bramble or anything. Again, still not much has happened in this game except for top lane. A lot of action up here so far, and that's pretty good for TYLER1's team as well. Looks like we have some ganks and stuff going on in the mid lane. TYLER1 now hits 6, and like I said, he pulls the wave over. He's looking to set up the freeze. I think that's a great call by him. Mordekaiser has to decide if he ever wants to get any CS, he's probably going to die for it, especially now that Tyler's 6. He can just absolutely run him down. Or Mordekaiser can just sit here and miss all the CS. Like I said, he's able to jump on him. That's another thing I wasn't even thinking of, that the Mordekaiser E does not knock away Olaf when he's in the ult. So TYLER1 did an amazing job there setting up the freeze, putting Mordekaiser in a weird spot. Mordekaiser gave him the freeze for free though, since he had that terrible recall. He wanted to finish his Bramble super bad, so as soon as he had Bramble money, he just recalled without crashing the wave, which let TYLER1 set up that freeze. Mordekaiser's so screwed now. TYLER1 is 3-1 at this point. Olaf still has the freeze going. Mordekaiser's down like 20 CS. He's down 2 levels. This is only going to get worse because he's in the exact same situation. At least now Mord is going to have his flash up, which is going to help him a little bit, but TYLER1 has his flash too. Not having the Olaf ult is maybe a little bit of an opportunity for him to maybe be able to crash the wave. But yeah, TYLER1's doing a great job manipulating the wave, putting Mordekaiser in weird spots, and he really needs his jungler to come up and help him crash it. But Lilia's on bot side. I don't know if TYLER1 knows where the jungler is, but since Lily is not going to be coming top anytime soon, I think this is going to get really ugly for the Mordekaiser. He's got to be so tilted right now. TYLER1 could still tank this whole wave if he wanted. He doesn't have to let this crash into his tower. I'm honestly surprised he gave up the freeze there, but that is great news for Mordekaiser. He'll finally be able to farm a little bit because the wave is going to bounce back to him. I think TYLER1 probably should have played a little bit more aggressive there in terms of being willing to tank the wave a little bit, because again, you're Olaf, you are going to be able to heal up and everything. It's not that big of a deal if you do tank the wave a little bit. Mordekaiser was not strong enough to kill him. TYLER1 was up like 3 levels at that point. But, you know, maybe that's the difference between a Diamond 3 and a little bit higher elo top laner, because TYLER1's been absolutely grinding recently, and it has not been going too well. I saw yesterday he played for like 16 hours. I think he lost 150 LP. So he definitely does some things well, and there's some things, obviously, everyone can learn from him, but he definitely is not all the way there in terms of top lane gameplay. This wave is going to slowly push back into the Mordekaiser. He is now down, what, 40 CS almost? It's not good. The chat's kind of in the way. I want to move it, but I don't want to mess up my setup and everything. But yeah, so Mordekaiser will finally be able to pick up some CS. TYLER1 has an opportunity to maybe dive him as his wave crashes, but I feel like that would be a little bit risky. I don't know if he quite has the damage to just straight up dive him under this tower. But TYLER1's crazy. He might just try it, or he might just push this wave in and get a recall, because he's definitely sitting on a ton of gold as well. But as he gets a Mordekaiser lower, yeah, he decides against it. He gets a recall. That's probably the safer option. If he did decide to dive the Mordekaiser there and he was able to kill him and he made him miss that whole wave, Mordekaiser would be completely out of the game. But this game's pretty much already over at this point. His team's up 4.5k. It's 7-1 at 9 minutes. The other team's probably super tilted and not even playing that well at this point. TYLER1 gets the Black Cleaver at 9.5 minutes, another longsword. I'm assuming that'll be going into like a Sterox or something like that. I think he usually builds second. But again, this lane is all T1 so far. He had the 1 death on the 2v1 gank, but other than that, it's been complete domination. It's been absolute clinic. Again, this is just what you do in a winning matchup. It just shows you how to get a lead, push your lead, and then absolutely take the other top laner out of the game. He's pretty much made this game a 4v5 at this point. Olaf is down, or Mordekaiser's down 35 CS. He's not really going to be useful in any way. He can maybe try and go help his team somewhere else, but it's 8-1 all around the map. His team isn't really doing anything anywhere else either. He's not really strong enough to ult anyone and just straight up kill them either. Like Draven honestly might kill him if he ults him. Cassiopeia would have a chance as well. TYLER1's going to start farming behind the tower now, which I think is another good decision. Don't let Mordekaiser... Now that Mordekaiser's out of this game, don't allow him a way back in. He's just absolutely strangling this Mordekaiser out of this game. He's not letting him get any of the XP. He's not letting him get any of the CS. And again, Mordekaiser decides to walk up a little bit too far, and TYLER1 makes him pay for it. But Lilia was on the top side this time. He gets drowsied. Lilia should be able to pick up the kill here, and she does. But again, even though TYLER1 goes down, Mordekaiser's not getting anything out of this. Mordekaiser is still just becoming weaker and weaker. TYLER1's getting stronger and stronger. He does have all the deaths on his team, so he's kind of inting a little bit, but his team is doing very, very well. But he's not really getting carried this game. You know, he is playing very, very well on the top side, really taking hold of this lane. Because now Mordekaiser, it is 11 minutes in. Mordekaiser only has 51 CS. TYLER1 has 92. He has a plus 40 CS lead at 11 minutes. And even though this matchup is very Olaf favored, that's not how it usually goes. TYLER1 finally gets his free boots. He decides to TP mid, and he picks up a pickaxe as well, so it does look like he'll be going Styrox. Lilia picks up the kill onto the Cassiopeia. TYLER1 decides against the tower dive there. His ult is up in 20 seconds, so he probably wouldn't have been able to just ult underneath the tower and kill them for free. But yeah, the TP mid didn't really work out. He got a little bit of CS, but he wasn't able to save his team or pick up any kills or anything, and now he just kind of has to walk back up top lane. He probably is happy that somebody else finally died, though, on his team. He's not the only one with the deaths. He's currently missing a little bit of CS to this tower, but he did pick up a little bit of CS in the mid lane, so it all worked out. He does not get the cannon, but he's able to pick up the rest of the wave. Mordekaiser got some free CS while he was gone, 56 to 102 in terms of CS now. And TYLER1's in another spot where he can either freeze the wave here, make Mordekaiser walk up, or he can just crash it into him and start roaming around the map or something too. I mean, he can honestly get into Lilia's jungle, start taking camp, start looking for her too, is another option of just snowballing the game through the top lane. He can do Herald. I don't know how good of a call this is. This is kind of allowing Mordekaiser to get some free CS, and Herald kind of takes a long time to do. But once he gets it, he will be able to pick up a free tower in the top lane. So I get it. I've definitely done this before. I just don't know how good of an idea it is. Mordekaiser is recalling, however. I'm not sure why he didn't shove the wave back into TYLER1. Maybe he was scared. But TYLER1's going to be able to pick up a free Herald, and really Mordekaiser doesn't get too much out of it. So it ended up being a pretty good decision in the end. He doesn't have TP. Mordekaiser does have TP, and his team's setting up around for this Drake. But I don't think TYLER1's team should be too afraid of the Mordekaiser TPing in. TYLER1's going to get right back up. He has the Herald now, so he can... Ooh, I did not think he was going to drop it already. I thought he was going to crash the wave in and then decide against dropping it. But no, he decides to drop it right away. He's going to pressure this tower. He still has 45 seconds to get the plate, so he's definitely going to get it in time. This will be first tower of the game. This will extend the Olaf's lead over the Mordekaiser even further. He is now 3 levels up and 60 CS up at 13.5 minutes. Very, very unfortunate for the Mordekaiser, but this is what an alpha does in the top lane. They get that lead, and they don't give the other person even a chance to fight back. We do have Lilia on the top side now. TYLER1, obviously a great move here, stealing away the Lilia's camps. You want to do that pretty much every chance you can, just because TYLER1 can definitely 2v1 the Lilia and the Mordekaiser right now, so he doesn't really have a risk of like getting collapsed on or anything. And then now, not only is he putting the Mordekaiser behind, but he's putting the Lilia behind too. That's just even better for his team. Nocturne is kind of even with the Lilia right now. Lilia is even a little bit ahead, but if she starts losing her camps and stuff, that is not going to be good for her. And TYLER1's team is up 9k gold at 14 minutes, which is a pretty crazy lead to come back from. Tyler does decide to pick up the Styrox second. Obviously a very, very good item on Olaf. You can get even more tenacity, get some more damage, some survivability, ton of things that he likes. And it's a great item to snowball the game. Tyler is the highest level in the game, so again, he's a huge, huge threat right now. Should be able to carry this one very easily, but we're going to see how he's able to execute that. Start stealing his own team's camps. Yeah, you got to do that sometimes too. Your whole team's bot. Nocturne gets his camps ganked real quick. Again, I don't know how great of a decision this is. He could be in the top lane kind of farming that wave and putting some pressure in the top half of the map, but what you going to do? He's greedy. He gets his team's entire top side. So he's stealing Lilia's camp, stealing Nocturne's camps, putting everybody behind, but definitely getting a lot of gold, XP, and resources into himself, which I'm sure he is very confident in his own ability to carry this game. I can only imagine what he was screaming and stuff. I don't know if we can see the chat in this game or not, but we haven't really seen any like messages or anything from him. I don't know if he's been talking or if we just can't see it or whatever. don't know all about the practice tool, to be honest. Getting in to about 15 minutes into the game, TYLER1 up 70 CS, 3 levels on the Mordekaiser. Again, I just think this has been absolutely textbook how you win and snowball in a winning matchup, how you apply that pressure early and bring the jungler up there, but still don't die a bunch, keep your CS lead, play super aggressive, make the other team play around you, and then be able to absorb that pressure. Because again, even though TYLER1 hasn't been able to make it a challenger or master or anything yet, being D3, D2, especially as not a top lane main where he doesn't really know the roles well, doesn't know minion manipulation as well, doesn't know all the matchups, still really impressive. Still a lot of things you can learn from him. And I don't think he's going to hit challenger by the end of season 10 just because we're so close to the end, but I'm sure he's got a chance to hit challenger in top lane in season 11 if he wants to continue trying and grinding and stuff. And OLAF definitely seems like a very good champion for him. You can play so aggressive, just run straight at the other team. Seems to fit his playstyle pretty well. I was about to say, I'm not sure why he's recalling here. I think he should just be able to take this tower for free, and he did realize that. So he is going to be able to knock this one down, taking the tier 2 at around 16 minutes. But the other team surrenders. Obviously, again, I'm not very surprised by that. They were down almost 10k gold. But this was our breakdown of top lane OLAF from TYLER1. He's currently D3, but maybe this will be a master tier, even challenger tier OLAF in the very near future. Definitely drop a like if you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about TYLER1's OLAF? Do you think he should keep it up and then he's going to hit challenger soon? Or do you think he needs to give it up, switch to a new champ, switch to a new role, whatever? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to update on the latest content. Again, check out the link in the description for the $25 RP giveaway we got going on. That little Christmas present for one of you guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.